lately I've been feeling very depressed during the weekends. I find myself just daydreaming and not quite knowing what to do with my time, and it's sometimes very sad. So typically I'll, go out with a friend or call my sister to go out, but if they're not available, then I'm like, what am I gonna do with myself? I feel like this is one of the cons to being single and just being alone. So I figured, like, if I'm feeling this way, there are probably people out there who are also feeling the same way, and I wanted to make this video for those people. So I asked a couple of my friends and also my therapist to see, like, okay, like, what can I do on the weekends to, like, not make it seem so down. And I got a couple ideas that I want to share with you guys, and actually me making this video is one of the ideas, because I feel like when I did YouTube, or when I do YouTube, I hate the word productive, I don't want to say it, but I feel productive and I feel like I'm doing something because it's fun. YouTube is fun, and like creating videos is fun for me. So I'm like taking this time, especially during the holidays when I feel this way more often, to kind of dive deeper into who I am and to like figure out what I need and to learn more about me, to be honest, because I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with me, and I want to make sure that the time I'm spending alone is the best that I can make it. So without any further ado, this is my single lady's guide to having a fun and relaxing weekend alone. If you're someone who's very adventurous and likes trying new things and also loves physical activity, I would highly recommend you sign up for Classpass. This video is not sponsored by Classpass, but you know what? I'm gonna manifest it. Like, I am gonna work with Classpass one day. I've been using Classpass, I think, for a couple years now. So I highly recommend that you even get a Classpass free trial because it has so many activities for you to do. So Classpass is basically a monthly subscription app where you can sign up and attend different workout classes, kind of like yoga, bar, boxing classes, karate classes, cycling, soul cycle, like that kind of thing. They have all of that in there. And I live in a very small city. I live in Maryland, and they had like very interesting classes that I've been wanting to try. I tried hot yoga once and I almost died, but it was such a great experience, and I went there by myself too. So I also think going to a workout class is a great way to meet people and make new friends, so I highly recommend that. And also Classpass has like different wellness activities, kind of like massages, getting your nails done. So it's like an all-in-one health and wellness app. Secondly, I highly recommend going to a movie by yourself and like treating yourself to like a dinner before or after the movie. When I was in high school, I love that I did this. Like, I went to a movie on like my last day of high school by myself. I went to see The Other Woman with, I think it was Cameron Diaz, and I don't remember the other two women, but it was a very good movie, and I literally sat in a theater by myself on like a Friday afternoon watching this movie. Looking back, I'm like, wow, that's very bold. I'm very proud of myself. A couple months ago, I went to see Dune by myself. Honestly, that experience was not my favorite because I ended up hating the movie, but I did enjoy just like going out and like getting sushi before and just like watching a movie with like complete strangers. I really enjoyed that, and I felt like the main character. I honestly did. Zendaya ended up being in like literally 2 minutes of this entire movie, and it was definitely a marketing scam. I don't know why we're not suing Dune. The next thing I would say you should do is go on your Spotify and look at the upcoming concerts of like the artists you listen to a lot. For me, The Pretty Reckless is a band that I've been loving since like high school. Find different artists that you've been listening to for a while and like see if they have upcoming concerts coming up. You can check Ticketmaster or Bands in Town. I think Groupon is like a great place to find like concert tickets as well. One of my friends found like a really cheap ticket on Groupon. I find that when I go to concerts, I just leave being like just super inspired to like do my own thing with like as much passion as I can. I remember when I was in college, I went to see Jake Bugg, who is just like a phenomenon to me. The one thing I did wish I did was I wish I like spoke to people at the event. Like, I was just like very in my own bubble, but I just wish I would have, asked like, hey, like, how did you find out about The Pretty Reckless? I think that would have been a cool way to like meet people. But I think I was just like too nervous and like very self-conscious. When I went to the Jake Buck concert, I actually like got like really terrible seats, but when I tell you, like, I was able to finesse my way to like the front 2 rows and like sat right in front of him. I knew this day would come. I'm on the front line. I felt like I was gonna get kicked out at any time, but I was like, you know what, this is main character energy right here. I literally acted like I belonged and like sat in like one of the best seats in the house in the center 2nd row of this concert, and was just like floored by this guy's performance. I think seeing people do something that they're really good at or passionate about is like a great way to inspire yourself as well. If you're trying to budget and save money, I would highly recommend going to a thrift store on like a Saturday or a Sunday after church. One of my addictions or hobbies per se is like going to thrift stores and just picking out different types of records. So in the past, I want to say 4 years, I've been collecting records. These aren't even all the records I have. My sister borrowed about like 4 of my records. This record is like the only new record I have. Most of the ones in here are like very used. I might do like a record collection if you guys want to see, but most of these artists I've never listened to. I literally just like pick up artists I've never heard of and like come home and like play them on my record player. I actually won this from Neon Productions. They had like an Instagram giveaway of the movie Colossal. This is like the soundtrack to the movie Colossal. Personally, I've been trying to get back into reading. Something I found really helpful is reading on my iPad. I've discovered that reading ebooks is like super easy for me rather than like going to a library or like going to buy new books every single time. And also when I read on my iPad, I can easily use the Libby app, which is like a free library app, to like borrow endless books. Not endless, but like you can borrow at least like 8 books in a day and like there's no cost to you, so it's super easy to do. I'm sorry, I cannot go back to reading books. It's literally the ghetto to me. Like holding a book in your face, like my hands start to hurt and I'm just like, why? If you're someone who's like mesmerized by physical books, of course, like just go to a library, pick out a book and go to a coffee shop and just like have a main character moment and like read your book in peace. I'm someone who, if I see people reading in public, I have to like ask what they're reading because it's just very fascinating to me. So it might be a great conversation starter to like read in public. This summer I decided to drive up to a local garden slash park and just watch the sunrise at like 6 a.m. and it was one of the most like peaceful experiences I've ever had. Just like driving alone at like 5:30 a.m. when it's like pitch dark. I mean, it's kind of unsafe, I'm not gonna lie. Watching the sun rise that early in the morning while you're driving and just like blasting your favorite song is like a magical experience. It's gonna be hard to wake up and you're gonna thank yourself later on. Because it's colder now, I would bring like a little blanket and a book or a cup of coffee and also dress pretty warm. Another thing you can do is bake some treats on your own. I went shopping the other day and I bought some cookie mixes to like try baking cookies. I've never, I don't think, baked a cookie in my life. Like I might become like a huge cookie baker, you never know. I hate chocolate, anything with chocolate in it. Chocolate chip, I feel like chocolate ruins everything. Also, you can plan yourself a very relaxing spa day. This could be at home or you go out to like a little spa. For me, when I'm like trying to treat myself, I'll like book myself a massage. Most recently, I tried getting a facial for the first time. It was just beautiful. I want to get facials every day now. Also, getting a manicure or pedicure is like super relaxing, so I highly recommend that. If you're trying to save money, then you can do all of this at home. Just like get all the different things you need. And also, I've been really dying to like take a bath. Like I haven't taken a bath in like the past 3-4 years. I used to be like a huge bath person in like high school. Also, I would highly recommend getting like a hot stone massage. The last time I got a massage, I got a hot stone massage by accident, and oh my god. Do it and then thank me if you haven't already. Another thing you can do, which for me, I try to do this every other week, is like clean and organize your room. I find that having a clean room for me is like almost essential for me to function as a human. So I like to have everything like organized and neat. So just take time to like clean, and I promise you, you'll feel like very accomplished. I feel like these days we don't really invest as much time into hobbies. I'm also someone who like the thought of a hobby is like, why? It's a waste of time. But I feel like we do need something outside of like work or something that brings us money to like keep us like focused. For me, I've been trying to do embroidery. I'll show you guys one of the ones I just did. I love doing embroidery. It's kind of hard though. I did one like last night. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like have this just become a thing where I can like make little pieces and like give them to people. The thought of like just selling them like crossed my mind. I was like, Janice, everything doesn't have to do with money. Like I feel like these days we're so programmed to like always find money in everything we do, and it's kind of sad. If you can find something like that, definitely do it. For me, I also write, which I find to be like very like almost therapeutic. If you've never taken yourself out on a date, I highly recommend you do it. What you can do is, you know, dress up, look really cute, put on some makeup, do your hair, and this is all for you. This is not for anyone else. This is all to make you feel good. Make a reservation at like your favorite restaurant and go alone and have a fabulous dinner by yourself. Okay, personally, I've never like actually done like the dressing up part, but I have taken myself out to dinner and like sat there and had like a very delicious dinner. Honestly, this is gonna be the next thing I'm gonna do sometime this month or next. Another way to kind of get yourself out of your head and, you know, focus outside of yourself is to serve or go to church or attend like a community event. So I've been looking to like get into just like volunteering. I want to make serving like a part of like being grateful and like helping out my community. So I've been trying to look for like different ways I can serve. I feel like that can help you kind of like get out of your own head and like, you know, help someone else and stop being just about yourself, because it's not all about you. This year, I think I used Groupon way more than I've ever had. So if you're looking for different things to do in the area, like fun events to attend or just fun things to do, I highly recommend you check out Groupon or even like an Eventbrite. They have like different varieties of things you can do on your own. Also, sometimes I like to put on a record or like a full-on album and do something creative. I listened to a Walk the Moon album from start to finish while I was embroidering, and I feel like it's a very peaceful experience to have. It could also be like painting or watercoloring, like just doing something with your hands that doesn't really require that much brain power. And like listening to an audiobook or a musical album is very calming, and I highly recommend it. So one thing you can always do when you're feeling kind of stuck is just to take a walk. I know it's super simple and like very thoughtless, but sometimes we forget that that's something we can do. And taking walks has literally been proven to be like very good for us. So I highly recommend just like going outside, breathing in some, you know, natural air, and just like taking a walk and meditating on your own, like just thinking about, you know, how you're feeling, checking in with yourself. Take a walk. If you're a homebody and don't really like to go out much, my bed is like my sanctuary, so I completely understand. So something you could do is marathon a movie series or just binge an entire season of a TV show from start to finish. I think the only show that I watched like a complete season in one day was Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I literally sat in bed one Saturday and watched that show from episode 1 to the final episode of the season. I'm gonna list some one season shows here that you guys can like check out and binge in like one sitting. If there's one thing I wish I did over the past couple years when I was a full-time student or full-time employee at a company, was to just start a small business. It could literally be you selling stickers or you know, designing logos for people. Like just start something small that you can do on the side just to bring you some extra money. Since I started my own company this year, I'm not really looking for like a side gig, even though I probably should be. I feel like no matter where you're at in life, it's always a smart idea to put your eggs in multiple baskets, because you never know where you're gonna end up. Start your own YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be like this huge thing. And also it could just be a private YouTube channel where you like keep memories of your life and share it with your friends and family. And the final thing on the list, take a nap. Personally, I know I sometimes feel guilty when I take naps, but I feel like over the past couple months I've been very good about my naps. Like, I take my naps very seriously. I've tried very hard to fight off that guilt mindset that comes to me when I take naps. It's funny how when we're kids, like, naps are super important, but it's kind of like a shameful thing to take a nap as an adult. That brings us to the end of this video. Comment below one thing from this video that you feel like you really want to try or do. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Also, if you really like this video, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can know when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching.